Okay, good evening, guys. It's Darren from Jace Media. I am here with two youngish.
Thanks, man.
I've got to start it with a bit of comedy before we go on, boys. So I'm here with two of the guys from our Ritual Spirit, Martin and Ollie. How you doing, boys?
All
Not
good.
bad, Darren.
Good. So how's life treating you? How's lockdown? How is not performing music, and how is not getting out there and thrashing the shit out your guitar and your bass? What's happening?
It's strange, man. We've been jamming together every week for a long time, and to not do it for 3 months is really strange. But hopefully we're getting to the other side of it.
Yeah, it kind of seems to be, there's obviously, I think Scotland seems to be more the more cautious and careful than England. And I think it's driving people a wee bit potty. But I think once it comes out the other side, and I know that the longer it takes, the less chance we have of seeing live music.
Yeah, that's it. You got to be sensible with these things, and I think Scotland's doing the right thing. It's difficult. It's difficult for a lot of people.
I think so too. What worries me is, though, I read an article earlier on today about what venues might have to do with social distancing when they reopen, and it was something like a 370 capacity venue with social distancing measure in place. The capacity was reduced to something under 40,
and like 25 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. They're talking about. I think they're talking about with 300 capacities, it's something like 10%. So you're looking at 30 people. So who would come? Don't get me wrong. There's some people out there that when you go to a gig, there's only 30 people at it. So you think, fucking hell. But I guess it's not going to have the same feel.
Not at all. And venues won't be able to cover the costs either. You're going to have to charge 50 quid a ticket just to see a local band. So that's not feasible.
And especially for guys like yous, who are going to the Mash House, Bannerman's, King Tut's, wherever it may be, and they're saying there's only going to be 30 people there, and you're thinking about our fees maybe 200, 300 or 400 quid, and they're going to go, well, we can't give it to you. So it's a tough one. It's a real tough one. But it's unprecedented times. I think
in the long run, though, it could actually benefit the underground unsigned acts, though, because they are the gigs that are going to get back on first. You're not going to get someone coming to sell out a stadium with 60,000, 70,000 people at it. So people are going to need gigs to go to. So it could end up working in the small band's favour, perhaps.
Start small first and then go large. And maybe give smaller bands a bit of support.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like this, interview with you guys. We at Jace Media, we try and get you guys out there as much as we can. And obviously, three ugly Scottish people talking on a Monday night is obviously going to get a lot of people having a giggle. And
I'm not Scottish.
Well, but you're an honorary Scotsman because you're an honorary Scotsman tonight. You're in with two Scottish people tonight, so you're an honorary Scotsman tonight. So you need to take that as a compliment.
I sure do.
So, go on.
I was going to say he's cut for the same cloth anyway. He's Welsh.
Well,
exactly.
Well, we've all got our crosses to bear. I'm just kidding. Don't get all upset and all that. Don't do that.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
So I had the pleasure of reviewing your single.
Awesome.
A few weeks back. And obviously, as a music reviewer, you get to hear lots of different stuff, and you get to, go. I don't know, like some of the stuff I'm listening to just now, like German death metal.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to chop my own head off sometimes and go, "What the fuck is that?" Because I come off when I'm doing the review, and that way I don't know if you guys get it. My head's buzzing because. It's like short, sharp bursts of 3 minutes of some mad guy screaming into a mic, and you think, wow, oof, my head's busting. But there's some stuff that you instantly pick up, go, wow, that's really cool, and obviously not hearing a lot of your guys' stuff, You know, it was a real pleasure to listen to it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed, you know, kind of the punchy riffs, you know, and the blustering drums and that. And it was, you know, and as a reviewer, I kind of sit and I'll play a track through, and I play it through again, and then I play it through, and then I review it, just so I can get the guts of it, you know, so that I don't like to do anybody an injustice when I'm talking to them or I'm reviewing something, because, you know, people come on and go, oh, that was quite sharp. But you know what I like to do is I like to get the meat and bones of it, kind of what makes you tick,
Yeah.
You know, what gives you your inspiration, and then when I listen to it and I play it back, and I find myself I'm nodding away, I'm like, oh, that's quite good, isn't it? That's quite good, that stuff. My wife will be like that. What are you listening to? Oh, I'm listening to, you know, it could be
Whatever.
death metal, it could be. Is it good? And I pulled the headphones out, and she goes, yeah, what's that? And I go, that's a new band, and she's like, wow, that's really loud, or it's really heavy, or it's really. But I grew up with heavy metal, you know. I've been listening to heavy metal and watching it since I was 11.
Yeah.
So I love getting into the meat and bones of stuff, you know, and getting right in and about it and seeing what makes you tick, you know. So obviously, you know, you guys have been, you've been relatively successful. You've played a lot of big stadiums, a lot of big festivals and stuff like that, and won a couple of awards. So you must be doing something right.
Aye.
Yeah, you carry on.
Well, thanks for what you said about the music to start with. I mean, we've had like minor success, definitely, but there's still a long way to go. But yeah, you know, if we keep on taking steps upwards, then that's all we can do, really.
Yourself, Martin, you, how do you feel about it? Is it?
I think that, well, I joined the band in 2016. Ollie and Dave, the original members, they've been going a bit longer. And you know, since I joined, we've certainly been on an upward trajectory. And I know that the guys had some success before that, but we went through a few lineup changes. It feels like now that we've got a settled lineup, especially with the addition of a young Fraser recently, we definitely feel like we're going. Not that we weren't going in the right direction before. It's just that it was a bit slower, and I'm sure Ollie would say that himself. It was a bit slower. I think definitely now it's definitely heading in the right direction, and obviously, lockdown's put a bit of a dampener on what we had hoped to achieve this year. But we seem to be doing quite well in the social media stakes since lockdown started, and maybe that's a blessing. Maybe it's given us time to sit and focus on what we need to do better on social media. You know, so
yeah, I think it's times like this, if you do like a wee online gig or a wee virtual gig, I think, you know, this stuff, you know, doing the reviews and stuff, that and doing the interviews, it helps a lot of bands, I think.
Aye, definitely.
You know, what I say, sorry, Ollie, what I say is that for us as reviewers, you guys have spent, you know, maybe a couple of months or a month or 2 or 6 weeks in the studio, honing the sound and getting it just right, ready for going out on the road. And then, you know, this pandemic strikes. So for us, it's like, you know, we can just go, oh, boy, I've not heard a Ritual Spirit Film, I'm going to pop it on. For you guys, it's probably slightly different, because you can't, you know, you're not going, I'm just going to nip out to the local, you know, the local hall, set up the band and go for it. Whereas we, you know, as reviewers can just go, I'm going to pop that on and rock out for for an hour or so, listen to a bit of Ritual Spirit. So to a certain extent, I think when you put you guys on this platform, you know, this interview will go out and it'll reach between 60 and 80,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know? Obviously, listening to my crazy dulcet tones will help it a lot and all. Well, that's not so bad. That's
Martin's got a few of those as well.
Thanks, Ollie.
So I suppose it's a good thing, you know, that out of something bad comes something good, you know. And what you were saying there, Martin, is that you weren't saying it was going in the wrong direction, but I think it's possibly, and Ollie might tell me I'm wrong, maybe a better direction, because there's a better feel to the band, there's a more cemented status to it.
Well, I think since Bloodstock, that was, you know, that's the platform that really kind of, well, Metal to the Masses and then Bloodstock, that's what's really given us that jump. But yeah, like Fraser joining the band, it's added an extra element that just wasn't there before. Well, we've got 3 people writing now. You know, we've never had 3 people writing in the band, and that's fantastic. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes.
And I think you get 3 different types of writing, 3 different genres, if you like.
That's it. I mean,
we've
already shown that with Celebrity on the EP track 3. That's basically Martin's track. You know, he brought it to the table. It's his lyrics. It was the right thing to do to get him to sing the lead vocals on it as well.
That's my favourite, Martin. Don't tell anybody else.
It's most people's favourite, to be honest. You're not the first person to say that, definitely. But this is it, you know, Martin's already bringing that to the table, and now we've got Fraser. So, you know, we're writing an album at the moment, and to have all 3 of us writing, bringing something different, it's going to be a good album, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's a good mix, because you can bounce ideas off of each other, and you can play, you know, the music and some of the lyrics, and if it's not right, somebody might have a better idea, a different idea, or a different direction, which is kind of what you want, you know, because it's you're never going to be shot. If there was only one person writing and he has a mental block and a creative, you know, meltdown, then these are all gubbed. But because there's 3 of you, then it's much better, because you can go, well, this doesn't fit, but let me rewrite this bit.
And we definitely do that. We definitely help each other out that way. I mean, Ollie's being very complimentary when he says that Celebrity was all mine. It was mostly my idea, but Ollie helped a bit with the lyrics and some of the melodies, especially for the chorus. So we all, you know, and we're not shy for each other either. You know, there's been a few instances where someone's brought a riff to rehearsal and the other one's turned around and went, "That's garbage, mate."
Oh,
you know?
We'll tell each other that, definitely. If it's shit, you know it's shit.
But I think that's good, though, because I think that you've got that kind of trust in each other. You
know
kind of what's good and what's bad, and what kind of fits with the ritual spirit, you know, with the thread that they want to go along, you know. And there's no point you going, "Yeah, I've written this riff and it sounds fucking awesome," and the 2 guys go, "That's a pile of shite," but you don't want to tell them. Do you know what I mean? Because then they go, he might be annoyed. But you know what? I think that's what's good about, you know, 4 guys in a room kind of bashing things about, and then saying, this is what you want. This is how it's going to be on the album, and it's going to sound awesome. And I think that's really good. You know, it's a good accomplished feeling that when you come together, you write something that you all agree on, and you know that it's going to sound well. When you take it to a hall somewhere and bash the shit out of it, people are going to go, "Wow, that sounds amazing." Or, you know, they might go, "That sounds fucking terrible." But do you know what I mean? And I think that's the kind of thing for you guys, that when you hash it out, you know, spending that time together, because you get to know each other, what each other's thinking, which is good.
Well, I feel personally that we've very much achieved that on the EP. It's of course it's easy for me to say that because I wasn't involved with the band with the previous release with Carnival Carnivorous, which I will say is a fantastic album, even though I wasn't involved in it. I like that. But I think we have achieved exactly what you're saying with the EP. I think it is a 4-person collective effort. It's not, you know, it's not like Ollie's the front man of the band, Ollie's the face of the band, but you wouldn't turn around and say that's Ollie's record. I think it's a Ritual Spirits record. It's everybody's record.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what's good about it, because you know, you put it together, you put it in the finished article, and you think, wow, we've really done something here. You know, if you'd been to Bloodstock and done all your other festivals and one Metal to the Masses, and then kind of just plateaued and kind of cranking out, you know, bargain basement stuff, you would think, well, we're not quite there. But I think that you know, with each individual record that you push out, it seems to get better. It seems to have a more, for me, it's a raw edge.
Yeah, I think we were really hungry for this. We had reached a bit of a, I wouldn't even call it a plateau. It was a valley, really. Like, you know, we had management and we got signed to a label, and it all crumbled. It all fell to pieces, and you know, we lost probably 2 years there.
What was the crux of that, Ollie?
The main band on the roster left.
Right.
So we thought it was a good thing at the time. We thought, okay, we're going to get a jump up the roster, you know, they'll give us a bit more attention. But unfortunately, they crumbled. They folded after that. So, like I say, we lost a good 2 years there, really.
And that's a shame because it's almost like a rebuilding process.
It was
having to start for the bottom and get other people in.
Martin joining the band, that was the start of the process, really. And that was the first time for me the band felt complete when Martin joined. I've always wanted backing vocals. I've always wanted a bass player that brings something.
Yeah.
You know, I listen to a lot of Alice in Chains, and you know, I love those vocal harmonies, and I put my own harmonies on the album, which sounded okay, but it's nothing compared to what Martin's done on the EP.
Yeah. And what kind of brought you to the attention of A Ritual Spirit, Martin? What was your desire to come to the band? What made you?
I knew them. I knew the guys because I was the frontman of a guitarist and vocals of a different Edinburgh grunge band that we packed up in 2014. We ran for a few years and packed up in 2014, and we had played a lot with The Ritual Spirit, us supporting them supporting us.
Yeah.
So I knew that. I wouldn't say I knew them, you know, super well, but I knew who they were and they knew me. And then when they were looking for a musician, you know, and the chat started, and do you want to come in and you know, give it a bash? It was like, yeah, of course, why not? You know, because I already knew their setup. I knew what they were about. I knew what kind of music they played. You know, I could sing along to most of their songs because we had played together that many times. So
yeah,
it
seemed like a natural fit. It seemed a natural fit.
It was a kind of no-brainer, really. And you know, it took off for there, and you know, we're still there. We're still doing it. So
yeah,
it's.
And what's the situation with album? Are we there yet? Are we
writing? Moment, no, we're nowhere near fully written. We're in the demo stages. You know, we've got a lot of ideas going on. I mean, lockdown's given us that time to, you know, do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think between Martin, Fraser, and myself, we've probably got an album's worth of ideas there, but nothing's anyway.
Nothing solid and nothing set in stone.
We need to get back in the room and just, like you say,
start jamming. Yeah, start jamming and see what you get. Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Sorry, Martin. Go on.
I was going to say it's hard to do it, you know, via small recordings and bouncing them back and forward to each other. It's good to listen to, and it's good to hear the other guys, you know, tracks and ideas. But as Ollie says, we really need to, you know, get through this lockdown and get back together in the room, and then we can smash it.
I think getting next to each other and kind of feeling the vibe and feeling the groove, rather than saying, "Oh, put your phone on. I'm going to hit you with this. I'm going to hit you with this riff," and you go, you know, it sounds tinny, or I can't really hear it. And I think getting into the room with each other and just shredding the shit out it and smacking the tubs and going, "What do you think?" and putting it together that way. I think that's, you know, the only way to do it. And it's hard. It's crap because I think everybody in the metal community misses going out to gigs, you know, listening to stuff, you know, and hearing new material. And I think that, yeah, you're right, Ollie, that, you know, sitting in your house for 3 months, you know, if you're lucky enough. I mean, I've been on furlough for 14 weeks now. So
2 seconds, guys.
I'm the same. I've been on furlough since 20th of March. So yeah, like coming up for months now.
Crazy, you know. And if for me, if I didn't have my reviewing, I'd have probably killed my wife by now.
You got to have something, eh?
Do you know? So you kind of get up in the morning and go, "What have I got today?" And I open my inbox, and there's about 30 reviews, albums, CDs, do you know, of all different genres.
Yeah.
And that's kept me going. Sorry, Martin, I was just saying there that, you know, that, you know, I've been in furlough for nearly 14 weeks now. And if I didn't have the review and stuff, I just said to all of that, I'd probably have killed my wife. Because she's working from home, you know, but we kind of keep a safe distance. She's in the dining room, I'm in the lounge, and I've got the cans on, cranked up to fucking 50, you know, just bopping away. And it's like an album, another album, a single, a video, another album. And you're like, I've been at this for like 6, 7, 8 hours, and it's constant, you know. And if I wouldn't have had that, I'd probably, as I said, I'd probably in jail now for manslaughter, you know, for slaughtering my wife. But, you know, I think you're right, trying to get back to, you know, to a bit of normality, whatever that may be, whenever it may be, is I think a welcome return, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're not going to be able to gig for a while, but we should be able to get in the room and jam before then.
Get some stuff down.
Start getting the writing process really on the go again.
I think that gives us a good target to work towards, though. If we know that we're not going to be able to gig for a while, as Ollie said. So when we can get back into the room, it should be, let's do the album. Let's just get it done.
You should have everything written. Sorry, man.
I was going to say, I don't mean get it recorded, because obviously that takes a lot of planning and stuff. But get the songs thrashed out, get them ready, get them.
Absolutely, get them written down, and then at least you've got a starting point, you know. And you're getting a jump rather than going, I'll be working all day and I can't write until I get back up the road at night. Right. And I suppose this way you can write, you can put some harmonies, some melodies down, some riffs in, and then go, right, I know that when I talk to the guys, or with Skype or with FaceTime or whatever, and I tell them I've got this idea, then you're kind of a third of the way up the park, you know, which is a good place to be in. And everybody that I speak to is saying the same thing. They say, oh, it's really good because, you know, your creative juices will flow in the house because you've got nothing to do. So you kind of put your ideas to good use.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I've just made a video, you know, like.
We don't want to know about your habits when we're not here. You can make all the videos you want, Ollie, but this is a family show.
Only on Saturday nights.
This is a family show, Ollie. Come on. This might not get broadcast. No, I'll tell you.
It's coming out 26th of June, man.
I'll tell you, I was doing an interview a few weeks ago, and I slung it on Facebook, and I got a notification from Facebook because I was talking to an English guy, and it said underneath it may need subtitles. And I'm like, what the fuck? Subtitles? They went yes, because we couldn't understand your lingo.
Wow.
So I think this will be subtitled the shit out of the night, because I think people are going, these three guys are just waffling on and nobody can understand it. So it'll be quite interesting when I pop it on, as I say, we pop it on Facebook, we pop it on Twitter, we pop it on Instagram, we pop it on YouTube. So it'll be interesting to see the feedback. People going, I need to rewind that back. What was he saying there? I don't understand.
I've had an idea, right? So I could do the rest of the interview in Welsh accent, if you like.
Absolutely, and then obviously you'll just see me and Martin just laughing at you. So there's an added value to both of it.
I like blinking, I do.
It's quite a good thing to do, is to get Ollie angry on tour, because when Ollie gets angry, he goes full Welsh. Like the Welsh language comes out and everything, and that's how like. That'd
be something to behold.
Drunk or angry. Drunk and angry. That's it. Full Welsh.
Is that most nights on tour, or just you as a person?
No, I'm quite calm actually. I'm quite calm, but it does happen from time to time.
Yeah, listen, I think it's life when when you're on tour and you're kind of in a room with somebody for a few weeks, a month or so, because you're not seeing anybody else bar the other three guys. You do get probably a bit pissed off.
I love being on tour. It's the best time of being in a band. But yeah, of course, there's occasions. There's always going to be occasions.
Of course, there are occasions. I'm very much the same as Ollie. Being on tour is what you're in the band for. Playing new cities, playing to new audiences, meeting new people. But I would say that we do get on each other's tits from time to time. Like, I mean, What about young Fraser in the hotel? There's a wee tour story for you. 4 o'clock in the morning after the gig, absolutely reeking, back with a chippy and everything. And I turn around, I'm like, what's that noise? And turn around, and Fraser at 4 in the morning, he's doing bloody press-ups and sit-ups at 4 in the morning, steaming, absolutely steaming.
He had a skin full of Jack or something.
just on it, just jacked up.
Aye.
But that's good though, because you can obviously laugh about it the next day and he'll go, I can't remember a thing, and you'll go, you're the nugget because you were fucking press ups and sit up, But I think these are good, I've been very fortunate that I've toured the world with a few rock stars. I used to be a bodyguard way back in the day, and it's great.
Awesome.
You get to see some sights, you get to have great friendships, and you get to have a few stories. But it's a great life. You know, I think there's no better life than a heavy metal life.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? I
Oh,
think it's just
yeah.
the best music. It's full of the best people, and
Keep the family on.
you just have a great time.
It's almost like a contradictory scene, isn't it? Because I know that people that don't know heavy metal and don't know about the rock kind of way, they look at it from the outside and they think that it's all angry and that, you know, people are to be feared, but everyone's so friendly. Bloodstock is a great example of that. I've been to a few festivals over the UK, and Bloodstock is by far the friendliest one I've been to, by far. And I know it's a little bit smaller than the others. It's a little bit smaller than the others. I know that, but there's no feeling of animosity at Bloodstock at all, no matter what your background is. But I tended to feel that, you know, done the Download thing, the Rock Nest thing, and I know I've never been to Tea in the Park, but I know a lot of people who have say it was just an absolute riot. So I think the metal community is good. I enjoy it. I think most people are out to help each other. So
no, I think the metal community. I think, you know, it's one of these communities where, you know, when somebody's in trouble, they'll help you out. You know, and they'll all come together and they'll try and, you know, be as supportive as possible. And you're right. I think, Martin, a lot of people go, metal's just mental. You know, it's the spawn of the devil and all that palaver. But, you know, yeah, exactly. Cow horns and all that. Woo, let's go. You know, you guys are all mental. But, you know, I think the thing is that it's just, yeah, I love the music or you don't, or you hate it, you know. And I think, like the Bloodstock, it is a smaller festival, but it's a well-run festival. It's, you know, you're well looked after, and I think that people just want to go and enjoy music that's played loud, and you can just shake your head until it nearly falls off, and everybody has a great time. You get the road and you go, wow, I wonder if I'll ever get invited back. And I think that's one of the good things about you know, a festival or a one-day extravaganza where people go, let's get the boys back, because they were just consummate professionals, loved a bit of laugh, liked a bit of a drink, and gave a blustering set. And I think that's all you can ask for. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So you've obviously, who's been helping you with the last record? And that was a certain Mr. Ramage. Has he been?
Yeah, that'll be Brian.
Has he been kicking about? Aye.
He's a fantastic producer. We worked with him. We did a quick single after we won Metal to the Masses and All Bloodstock. So we put out The Ever After, which ended up being the last record with the old guitarist Stevie,
right?
The band. So yeah, we just did a one-off single with him then, and you know, we were really happy with it. So we thought, next time we're recording, let's go in and see what he does with us. And he's up there with the best producers I've ever worked with. You know, he works you hard, but he really gets the best out of you, and you know, that just shines through on the record. You know.
And I think that's what you want. You kind of want somebody that's going to get the best out of you, because if you're four polished musicians, you don't want a mediocre record. You want somebody that's going to push you and go, let's twiddle this knob, let's push this out a wee bit, let's get the better out of your vocals. And you go, fuck, I'm doing my best. You go, no, your best isn't good enough. Let's take it up a notch. And I think that'll resonate out for the songs, you know, and for when you put your EP out where people go, wow, it sounds a wee bit more crisper. It sounds, you know, there's a certain something that's just came. And it's, you know, and it is a producer or an engineer who just tweaks it and gets the best out of it, you know, which is great, you know.
And that's definitely the case with Brian. Sorry, Ramage. He doesn't like me calling him Brian. With Ramage, he does push you so hard, but it's worth it. I mean, I remember doing the vocals to Celebrity in his studio, and I'm, you know, in my head, I'm going, that sounds good, I'm nailing that, and then finish, and I look at him, and he just goes, nah, again, and you're like, fucking, you know. But the time you get to your final take and you realise how good it sounds, it's like, it's all worth it, and I really appreciate that in a producer, because it would be so easy for a producer to take the money, sit there, and go, yeah, that's fine. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants it to sound
absolutely
the best it can, and he definitely got from us with the last record.
Because I think for him, it's like, it's not. You're right, Martin. You can take your money and go, sounds awesome, boys. See you later. But it's the reputation for him as well, because when you get your name tagged onto an album or an EP or a video, and people go, wow, that was done by Ramage, and it was absolutely fucking awesome. People go, wow, let's get a hold of him. And then he becomes a commodity that people just need to have, and you go, I'm fighting to get him for the next album or the next single because he's so busy. So I think that's good as well that he puts a heart and soul into it for you guys as well, because it pushes you to be the best you can be, so that maybe next time you might go, don't want Ramage, want somebody else. And somebody then comes to your door and goes, I heard you did an awesome job of this song, but listen, I'm a great producer, I can do this. And, you know, and that's when you know you're kind of reaching your potential, when people are coming asking for you to come and work with them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the plans for the future? What's going on now? What's happening? Because I'm just conscious of your time, boys. I know
that's all right. No worries.
It's still light outside. I know we could talk all night, you know, but
the sky's blue.
I'm just conscious of your time and stuff like that, you know, because you know, I'm an old man. I need to get in my bed early. You know, I need to wash myself. I need to wash myself.
I'm working in the morning. I've been back at work for 8 weeks. No furlough for me. So,
how are you finding it, man?
It's all right. You know, it's okay. I mean, it's not normal. It's obviously not normal, but you know, I was furloughed for about 4 or 5 weeks before we all got called back in, and it is nice to kind of have something to, I don't know the right words to say, because it's like I was enjoying my 5 weeks off. Who wouldn't enjoy their 5 weeks off? But it was kind of nice to get a routine back, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. I think for us, maybe Ollie might tell me I'm wrong, but you know, I work in Glasgow, and I'm up every morning at 5 o'clock for my work, and when you don't need to roll out of bed to maybe 7:30, and then you scratch your knackers and go, what am I doing today?
Yeah.
Nothing, I've not got a job. And then you kind of got up at breakfast, and I go out for a 7-mile walk every morning.
Excellent.
And then I came back and I get into my reviewing, and you're right, Martin. You know, I think at first maybe 4 weeks it was like, it's a 4-week holiday, it's great, but it was like a 4-week holiday in places like Benidorm, and it was pissing the rain because you couldn't go anywhere. So you kind of get up and you go, but I can't go out. But it's sun splitting the skies, but I can't go out. So you kind of think 4 weeks is okay, maybe 6 weeks is fine. But I think when you start getting to the 8, 10, 12, 14 weeks, you think, you know, is this going to be the new normal? You know, am I going to go back to work and not have a job? Or am I going to go back to work and go, fuck, I don't like this? Because you've been so used to it. Do you know?
I'm pretty sure. I'm sitting here. I'm a chef, and
okay.
Yeah, I don't really fancy going back into a kitchen, to be honest. Like, I mean, it's the longest I've had off, you know, since I've been doing it 10 years. It's probably the longest I'll ever have off work with the government paying me, you know.
Yeah. And you know, and I suppose that's the other side of it. You go, I'm off, but I'm getting paid. When does that ever happen? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is a strange situation, you know. But as I say, it gives us all time to reflect, I think, and kind of look at you know what the world's coming to, and you know, and all the new stuff, all the new riots and everything that's happening. You know, you probably kind of think to yourself, thank God I'm in the house, you know, rather than being out like written statues.
We're in a very fortunate position, really. You know, we are very fortunate to be, you know, able to have a roof over our head, and like I say, the government paying us. Like, you know, okay, I can afford all my bills. I've only got 80% of my wage, but that was easy. That was just, you know, don't have any takeaways, you know.
Yeah.
Don't have that extra couple of cans of beer, you know. Like I can do 20% of my salary, no problem, you know.
You should be able. Anyway, you're a chef.
Yeah, you make all your own food. None of that takeout shit.
Chefs don't cook at home, man. That's the last thing we do. I have been doing that.
I'll tell you something as well. You were just talking there about Fraser on tour. I was asked to do. This is my boss, because he's a fucking nugget and all. He asked me to do the Rush live album.
Right.
4 or 5 weeks ago, and he says, I need you to get it out as quick as possible. So I sat up to about 2 a.m, right, doing it and all the rest of it. And he says, why didn't you start it at 7? And I says, I'll tell you why I didn't start it at 7. So you can obviously look at my beard, and about 5 or 6 weeks ago, I looked like a certain And I'll say, you might not know who I'm talking about, but I look like a certain soap star, right? So I said to him, I can't do it till after 7:30. And he says, how no? And I says, because I need to watch Emmerdale. And he said, what? I says, I need to watch Emmerdale. That's my chill out time. Away from my wife, away from the kids. I just sit and just get lost in the dales, listening to them talk shite. And he went, no bother. So he put the review out to Geddy Lee and to their management company. And it was reviewed by Darren, a.k.a. Zach Dingle McIntyre. So
brilliant.
There's a wee story for you that will be on the Jace Media website, and we'll have a wee laugh about it. So that's my story. When my boss just pisses himself laughing. He goes, Emmerdale. And I said, listen, it's one of the kind of soaps. I've watched it for probably 30 years. You can nip in and nip out. And nobody really gives a shit. And he said to me, he said, you look like an actor. And I'm thinking, oh, somebody quite good. And he went, that soap is on in the afternoon or early evening. And that was me. It's stuck ever since. So if you ever get a chance to look at the website, run through the credit and you'll see it, Rush.
Awesome.
There's my name on it, Zach Dingle McIntyre. And I thought, yeah, fucker. So there you go, boys. And listen, on that note, I'll let you go. And I'll thank you for your time. And I'll say this is Darren from Jace Media with Martin and Ollie from A Ritual Spirit, talking all things music, lockdown, metal to the masses, and everything in between. And hope that we'll see you guys on the road soon. And when you play a gig, give me a shout and I'll come along and I'll review it.
Will do. Cheers, man.
All right, boys.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Stay safe.
You too. Bye for now.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.